Jeff, as I look back at our season, we have covered a ton of ground. But I think there are two big themes that we hit several times that I would love to revisit as we wrap up here and think ahead to what's to come for the future of higher ed. So if you are okay with it, I would love to dive in before I let you go for your summer to focus on your next book launch. I think it's number 4 for you in terms of books.
Yeah, Michael, and we're going to be talking more details in the fall about the book, but why have a podcast if you're not going to hawk a book, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So could I do a 5-second commercial here?
Please.
I really want our listeners to pre-order the book now from anywhere, as you know, and as any author knows, pre-order is incredibly important. And when you do, when you pre-order the book, head over to my website, jeffselingo.com/dreamschool, and you'll get some bonuses that we're giving away to those who pre-order, especially this guide to the college search that is something we're only giving away during the pre-order period. So important. And if you're on YouTube, you could see the cover of the book. Okay.
Looking good. It's looking good, Jeff.
Yeah, that's it. Commercial done, Michael.
Commercial done. All right.
So let's get back to our programming.
I'm going to give you a little bit more plug first. You got a star from Publishers Weekly, I think. So that's got to feel pretty good. So congrats. But yes, check out the book. I can't wait to read the whole thing. I've read a chapter. And the person you focused on in that chapter is now the dean at Harvard, I believe.
That's true, David Deming. So we're going to be talking a lot more about that chapter and other chapters in the fall when we hopefully do a whole episode on the book, if we could ever get past all the news that keeps rushing at us. So what are your two big themes?
All right, so maybe that's where our launch point into this. Yep. The first is what you called a year of reckoning for higher ed. And under this, there's obviously the predictions that you had done at the beginning of January around this being a very consequential year for higher ed. And if you're game, I would love to revisit those. But I would include everything in this category, from apprenticeships to mergers to the lost boys of higher ed to the new Carnegie classifications to what we have been covering almost obsessively the past several episodes, Jeff, and frankly, all of higher ed is talking about, which is the rapid fire orders and actions and questions and challenges coming at colleges and universities from the federal government ever since President Trump's inauguration. And then the second big theme I see from our year is the conversation around AI and its impact in higher ed. We had Cal Newport, we had Lev Gonick, Ashley Budd, Ann Kirshner, Marvin Krislov, Chris Hine from Google. But you also hosted a very interesting conversation at EduCause back in the fall that I think speaks to how colleges and universities interact with and leverage AI. You had on that episode, you had Dave Weil, Nicole Parsons Pollard, and Evie Cummings. And so I would love to unpack that in maybe the second half of the show, but maybe we start with the year of reckoning for higher ed first, if that's okay for you.
Yeah, that works for me. And by the way, just as you were reviewing all those episodes, I feel like we're kind of in a time warp here. I'm like, oh, that was this season? It's kind of like pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. It feels like, pre-January 20th, right? Post-January 20th. I mean, not to laugh about this, but it is like, it's so hard to kind of figure out what was last month as opposed to even last fall. So
yeah,